Hello and welcome once again to my channel. I'm yours truly, Charity Chidi, and I'm glad to share this video with you. So this video is about how to stop watching porn, how to stop watching pornography every day. It doesn't matter who it is that is struggling with pornography, it doesn't matter how you got into that addiction, and it doesn't matter how long you have struggled or battled with it trying to stop it. All you need to do is to sit back and watch and learn exactly how you can tackle it. Or if you know someone who is struggling with it, please learn, watch this video and help that person to get out of it. Just sit tight while we get straight into it. Pornography addiction can be very difficult to stop, just like every other addiction. Even something as simple as eating so many chocolates can be very addictive. Pornography has the ability to eat deep into a person's mind, and you find that person begins to behave abnormally. Sometimes it turns people to pedophiles, it turns people to different kinds of sexual perverts, and that is how bad it can actually be. And something else that pornography does is that pornography tends to pollute the mind, and someone who is actually supposed to be working on dreams, who is actually supposed to be working on some very important projects, you find that person giving up all those things and dedicating so much time to pornography. That is how bad pornographic addiction can actually be, and you can help someone around you stop it today. Look, there are people that have friends, they know that this person has actually been into this pornographic addiction. As a matter of fact, some persons who had friends and they all were addicted together, and somehow you have conquered and the Lord has helped you to conquer it. What you need to do is to help your friend come out of it. Don't just leave them swimming in that ocean of destruction. You need to help them come out of it. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing strategies that's going to help you to help someone or to help yourself defeat that addiction, which is pornographic addiction. You can actually do it. It doesn't matter how difficult it looks, you can step out of it. So keep watching while I get straight into my very first point, which is, first of all, find out everything that happens to you when it comes to pornography. What I mean by this is, you need to first of all sit down in order to tackle your problem. Different people have different cases, different reasons why they got into it, different things that pushes them into it. So you need to sit down, check yourself, and find out things surrounding you that actually push you into it. Now, the first thing you need to find out is, where are you usually at when you get into that mood? It comes like a mood, just the same way you can be in a happy mood and you find yourself being happy, singing, dancing, playing with your friends and all that. This thing called pornographic addiction can actually come as a mood. So ask yourself, when do you usually get into that mood of pornography? When do you feel like watching pornography? Where are you at times like that? And something else you need to ask yourself is, what kind of materials do you use when you get into that mood? Now, by materials, I mean there are people that use magazines to arouse themselves, that use adult sites to arouse themselves, that use some movies, adult movies to arouse themselves, some pornographic movies rather. I prefer to call it pornographic instead of adult because it's actually pornographic. When you call it an adult might be swimming in the ocean of pornographic addiction. It doesn't make it right because he's an adult. Be you a married man, be you a married woman, or a single person, you have no reason to indulge in it because it will actually drain you of what God has deposited in you. So it's actually not good for anybody. So what are those pornographic materials that get you into watching pornographic movies or practicing some kinds of sexual immoralities? You need to find these things out because they're going to help you to know how to tackle them. That's the first thing you need to do when you are trying to get out of this addiction. First, find out how you get aroused, what gets you aroused, the environment where you get aroused. Just pick out those things and write them down. You're going to be needing it in this process. Now, the second thing you're going to need to do is get rid of every pornographic material in your possession. Now, this could be from pornographic magazines to pornographic movies to pornographic websites. You can begin to wonder how you're going to get rid of it. You can, like on Facebook, there are different pornographic groups. Get out of them. Get out of such groups. If there are porn sites that you have been visiting, block those porn sites so you won't have access to them anymore. Of course, you can say, yeah, you can go and reactivate them or unblock them. Yeah, it's true. But this is the first thing you need to do. It's a process. It's a gradual process. So what you need to do at this level is to block those websites, get rid of pornographic materials in your home, get rid of pornographic magazines, get rid of all pornographic movies in your possessions, in your phones, in your laptops. Get rid of them entirely. Remember, I told you to find out where you usually are when these things come up. Now, you remember what they say, an idle mind is actually the devil's workshop. Most times, people that indulge in pornography, it happens at a time when they tend to be alone or less busy or doing nothing, you know. It actually comes in times like that, because when they are so busy, their minds are occupied with important things. They don't have time for pornography. This pornography comes at a time when they are idle. So that leads me to my next point, which is avoid every environment that gives room to pornography. If from your studies, if from what you have checked about yourself, from your past experiences, what leads to it is idleness or being alone or being in a particular mood, just find out what that mood is and be sure to prevent it 100%. Now you might begin to wonder, does it mean I can't have time for myself, I can't be alone and all that? Yes, you can be alone, but you have studied yourself and you know exactly how it happens to you. You know when that spirit engulfs you. What you need to do is don't give room for that thing to arise at all. What you need to do is don't give room for it to arise at all. If you know that you get into the mood of watching pornography when you are alone in your house, please and please don't be alone. If you must be alone in your house, remember it's a process. You're going to eventually get out of it and then you will have your full freedom back. Now, if you know that what gets you into the mood is usually when you are alone, that's when those dirty thoughts start creeping up in your head, then what you need to do, at least while you're still struggling to quench that fire of pornography in you, what you need to do is to avoid being alone. And if you must be alone, make sure you have something doing. Don't just be idle. Don't just be alone watching some certain movies or whatever. Get busy with something creative. If you are a student, it's a good time to actually be married to your book. You need to pick up your book, study like never before. Just something to distract you, anything to keep you busy until you are not alone. That is very important. My number 4 points to winning this battle against pornography is join a community of believers. You know what they say, iron sharpens iron. When you know that you are entangled into pornography because of the kind of friends you keep, what you do is to disentangle yourself from such friends. Step away from such friends, okay? That is exactly the same way you need to join a community of believers. There are so many groups on Facebook that helps you to grow. There are different groups that help you to get out of this. What you need to do is to join those groups on Facebook. Join them and you begin to hear experiences from people. You begin to hear how people did it, how they were able to step out of that addiction, and before you know it, your mind begins to get shaped to that direction. And before you know it, you find out that those dirty things, dirty magazines, dirty movies and all that used to interest you begins to irritate you. When you get to that point where the same sin that used to catch your attention and interest you so much, begins to irritate you, then you are a step away from overcoming it. So please and please get into a community of believers that are going to help you grow. Get into a community of believers that are going to help you build your mind around the right thing, help you build your mind around the message of Christ and not the message of pornography. Okay, so as you join these groups, you find out that your mind begins to focus on the positive things and you begin to let go of those evil desires, evil lust and passion. Some people might tell you, I've tried everything I can, I've done this, I've done that, still I'm not able to overcome it. Now, at this point, I would advise you, if it has gotten to that point where you just can't help it, you need help. When you know you need help, then you are actually close to help. The number 5 thing I'm going to advise is, sometimes in some cases you might need to get in touch with your pastor or a counselor. Now, the reason of doing this is because sometimes you need someone to follow you up. You need someone to help you to step out of this. You need to get in touch with someone. Now, I'm not asking you to go about talking to people about it. Why? Because they might end up taking your name around. You don't know who is who. But there are people that are there for you, and that is people like your pastors. Your pastors are there for you. They would actually be glad to help you to get out of this addiction. So if you have found yourself in that situation where you need help, please and please feel free to reach out to your pastor or to a counselor who is a specialist in that area, and the person is going to help you and keep following you up to see that you overcome that habit. Now remember, all these points that I have talked about are things that you on your own can do, daily practices that you can follow, which ranges from getting rid of bad materials, pornographic materials, magazines, movies, porn sites and all that. Now apart from that, the totality of everything is Jesus Christ, of course, and asking the Holy Spirit to help you. Now I want you to realize one thing. Anything that seems so difficult for you is actually more than possible with the Holy Spirit. So above all things, why you keep following these steps, why you keep doing these things to help you renew your mind, to help you renew the bond you're supposed to have with Christ, remember to always pray. Prayer is the key to everything. It doesn't matter how far, how long. I know some people actually stepped into this while they were so young. And after so many years, it becomes so difficult to let go of. But I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how long. It doesn't matter how long you have been engulfed in this thing called pornographic addiction. All you need to do is just to follow these steps and to keep praying about it. Keep talking to God about it, and I assure you, before you know it, you will find out that you are actually free. You will look back and say, I can't believe I'm free from this. So just keep doing this, and the Lord is going to help you to step out of it. Now, if you're new on my channel, please remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell button so you will always be the first to know whenever I drop a video. And please remember that we're called to serve one another. If you have a brethren, if you have a friend, a brother, a sister, or whoever who is engulfed in this sexual perversions or pornographic addiction, please do share this video with them and do help them to practice this point that you have learned in this video, and I tell you, they're going to share their testimonies with you. Thanks and remain blessed.